Hey guys, and welcome back to SkizzleCraft. This is episode 8, and we are going to be back at the base doing some building today. So I have been working on terraforming this area between the last episode and this one. So it's a lot more flat, a lot easier to build on, but it's not completely flat. We do still have some areas, if I can get my camera, like this over here. So I needed to try and make the land as close as possible to the base of the pyramid, which is where we've got the pathways. And then obviously going down to water level. So on this side over here, we've got quite a lot of hills, which is fine because that's going to be going over to the water. But this side now, as you can see, is nice and flat, with a little bit of elevation changes, but nothing that's going to be too difficult for building. And we've got the same here, and it goes all the way down to the edge of our base area. So before we get started on anything today, I have had a request to head to my post box and check that. So I'm going to head down there and have a look. Okay, so back at the base now, ready to start working. I am going to place my birthday box down. I think we'll put it up here for now. I'm not going to empty this yet. I'm going to keep it for a while because I don't actually need to use anything, but it's very nice to have. So thank you very much to the server mods for my birthday present. But today we are going to be heading out into the base, and we're going to be building the library. We're going to start the first building in the city. And I've been looking at some ideas on where to do it, and I think we're going to do it in this area. So we are going to be doing it in the fire theme. So this is going to be reds, oranges, yellows, bit of white mixed in. And we're going to be building it in this section. I've got an idea for a kind of shape I want to do. It's going to be quite big. I think I'm probably going to have one major building in each of the 4 sections, possibly 2. Just so it's not like overrun with giant buildings. And then in between is going to be a lot of smaller houses. So as you can see here, this section goes down. I could have flattened this out a little bit more and then had a steep drop off at the end, but it's kind of a gradual decline down here, which is fine for building on. I've raised this section quite a bit because there was a lot of small dips over there. And then that is the entrance to the Skelly farm, which I need to do properly, but that is going to be built into, well, added into one of the buildings at some point. So I'm just going to leave that as it is now. But I think our first building we're probably going to put either in this section here, if it fits, or on the slightly raised platform here. I was thinking about putting it here as having the beacons coming out the top, because there's going to be 5 beacons here eventually, just like there is in the center part of the pyramid. So I might use this as the central spot, the red being the middle one, and then build it in this section. And then if it hangs slightly off the edge, that's perfectly fine as well. But the first thing we need to do is do some resource gathering. So I've started doing this. If we can get inside a little bit quicker. Let's just head in here. So I've got these sugar boxes over here. I started collecting colours of concrete. Now, originally I started collecting the blues because I thought I'll build it in the water section, but then I changed my mind and I thought we'll go for the red. So we have red concrete, orange concrete, and yellow concrete, and plenty of it. And then we've got glass. We've got white concrete in this one, and some more concrete powder if we need some white. And then I'm not quite sure what else. I'll have a look, see if we incorporate any of the different colors of terracotta. We could add some coral blocks in as extra color. I think I'm going to hop over to the creative world. We have a portal at spawn with a creative world where we can test things in and maybe set up block palettes for each of the 4 colors. Then we can just reference it. So I can go up and find all the blocks that are available in this color palette and set them up, and then we can pick from that. Okay, so this took a lot longer than I expected. So I've been laying out color palettes, going through all of the blocks in the creative menu and laid them out color coordinated here. I've not included pink, magenta, or purple because they aren't part of my color themes. It could be that they get mixed in a little bit at some point, but I'm not planning on using them. But as you can see here, we've got the red, orange, and yellow sections, which we're going to be using for the fire elements. That should be copper. Let's change that to waxed. There we go. So we've got all the orange stuff here. So everything from wood to a red sandstone and red sand. The bricks, copper, and then for each of the colours, obviously, we've got wool, terracotta, concrete powder, glass, and the glazed terracotta. Those are on every single one of the colours, of course. We've got the magma blocks, the what's this called? Raw copper blocks, honeycomb, pumpkins, and shroom lights. So that is everything that we could use for the orange color theme. See here, reds, we've got a little bit more because we've got the crimson stem stuff. We've got redstone blocks, red nether brick, red mushrooms included in, as well as all the nether blocks, and red coral. Yellow, there's even more because we've got the bamboo and then things like hay bales. Oh, that was supposed to be the yellow coral. Sandstone, endstone, gold blocks, all included, as well as the raw gold. This is the path block, which I'm not sure whether I'd ever use, but I put it in anyway. But since it's slightly smaller, I'm not sure whether it would ever be used in the build, but I added it in anyway. Greens we've got here. Now the problem with green is some of them are kind of green / blue, so they would fit kind of here in the greens or here in the blues. So this could be a bit of an overlap, but they are on opposite corners of the base area, so that's fine as well. We've got like grass, and we've got the usual ones: wool, terracotta, and concrete here. Glass, then we've got grass and moss. This is the kelp blocks. Bamboo blocks are kind of yellowish, kind of greenish, but I think it's a bit more of a lime color. And then we could include things like the prismarine and the nether woods. And then if we wanted to, we could add a little bit of stone in with the mossy cobblestone, the mossy stone bricks for color, and then things like slime, melons, and of course all the types of leaves. Blues, they're pretty much just the basic blocks as we've got here. And then ice and coral and lapis added on the end, but again we can include some of these blocks over here that fit in between green and blue. Browns are quite a lot because of all the different woods, and then we've got like the raw iron, dripstone. Let's fix that. Soul sands, And then some of the redstone components like pistons, and we've got barrels, and we've got the chiseled bookcases and things like that we could use, as well as note blocks. Dirt wouldn't work very well if it got close to grass, but I've put the coarse dirt in here as well as the podzol. And then, of course, black and grey has got a lot of the stone colours in, as well as the acacia wood blocks. These are all the dead coral blocks, as well as some of the redstone components you can use in the grey, as well as the black. With deep slate could go between grey and black. Blackstone, all types of glass, and then white is a lot of quartz. And a lot of the other stuff is kind of off-white, but these can all be used because they fit in with the grey as well. But that is kind of the colour themes we've got at the minute. So right now I'm going to have to go through this section and figure out which ones I want to use for this first library build. And then go out and gather a lot of these because I don't want to use concrete for the whole thing. Okay, so now we've got all those lists worked out. I've been working on looking at some of the things I need to gather for the first build, and that is mostly red stuff, orange, and a little bit of yellow. And I realised that I needed quite a lot of nether wart for the nether wart blocks and the red nether bricks. So I've just built a little farm here. It's not massive, but it does produce about 9 or 10 stacks each time I harvest it, as long as they're all fully grown. So it's enough for what I need, especially when I'm going to be building around the base and they have plenty of time to grow. So I've just built that down here and done the same as with the other farms and got it coming up into a couple of chests up here. And I will do the same as we've done over here and cover that up at some point. But I took a few of the resources out just to try and get the layout right, the size I'm going to need. I've been testing a little bit out on the creative world just to see the kind of shape that I want to make sure it looks right. And this is going to be the size of the base. So we will need to do a little bit of terraforming here because it does go off the edge. I could move it up, but if I did that, then the beacons wouldn't be in the center. So this red one is the center block. And then obviously once we've got the rest of the beacons in, that will be in these spots here. Like that. So now I need to gather the rest of the resources. I do need some more of the nether wart block. I should have plenty of the red concrete. Well, I've got red concrete powder, but I think I can build with that and just turn it to concrete as a build. I've got my resources down here. Oh, I've got different colours of glass, plenty of extra glass if needed, plenty of red, yellow and orange concrete powder. And then I've also got, well, I brought netherrack, but I'm not going to be using that. So I've got the crimson nylium, which I tried to use instead of the nether wart, but I didn't realise that that turns into netherrack if it's got a block on top of it. So I might use that for a bit of detailing, but I won't need that much of it. And then I will need the red nether bricks, which I did have somewhere. They're in here. So I've got some of the red nether bricks. I've got more bricks, so we just need to wait for the nether wart to grow to get more of that. Then the only thing holding us back is the actual nether wart block. So this is going to be the base. I need to figure out a floor design for this at some point using the same color scheme with the red, yellow and orange. Now this is going to go up quite high and the shape here is going to kind of go up slightly and then it's going to come in and go back out like that. And then the top part, which is going to be the main room, is going to be circular and it's going to be like a dome shape on top with a lot of glass at the top, and try and get as much detail in as possible on this. But the first thing I need to do is wait for the nether wart blocks, wait for that all to grow up. I might go and see if we've got anything at the community farm, but I'm not sure whether there'll be much there, but I can go and have a look, see if there is anything lying around that can make this a little bit faster. And I added a couple more of the wool farms here because just the two up the top wasn't enough for what I needed. So I might actually make more of this and build a building around it so we have more than the 2 sheep up there going at once. Because they are a little bit slow, but they're getting there. So, after spending hours and hours gathering resources, most of that time gathering netherwort for netherwort blocks, I kind of realized that these leaves are netherwort block. So, I spent about 3 hours gathering the netherwort blocks that I need, and I could have done it in about 3 minutes from trees. So now I feel a little bit stupid, but at least that will be easier to gather in the future for, because we probably will need a lot of it for the rest of this area because it is quite a nice looking block to fit in with the theme. But I think we do have everything we need now. Let's leave the tree, we'll fix that in a minute. So if we go over here, at least most of the netherwort can be used for the red nether bricks as well. So that's not too bad. So we've got more than enough red nether brick for the build. Netherwort blocks, we've got, well, more than we need now. I did gather a load of crimson nylium, but I'm not going to be using that. And then all the other coloured blocks we're going to be needing are here. The only thing I need to go get is the wool from the sheep over there. So it's time to get this thing built. So let's get going. So now we have the outside part complete. We need to go a little bit of decorating inside. Well, quite a lot of decorating. And I think I'll need some more resources for that. But I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I originally planned to have clear glass up the top, but I think adding the extra bit of colour in was a little bit better because it is mostly red. I just wanted to bring some of the yellows and oranges in as well. And just adding the difference there between the blocks and the panes, just I think it makes it look a little bit better up there. It was a little bit plain with just plain glass blocks all the way. But now we need to start working on the inside. So the first thing we need to do is get a floor built, and I've got an idea of what to do for that. Then we need to figure out how to do this. So at the middle, I'm probably going to have a bubble elevator going up, and then there's going to be the main section of the library around there. It's going to have a lot of bookshelves and things up there. Obviously, I need to do some interior walls because we can't just be having this. And then this area down here is going to have a lot of books as well. And I'm going to build bookshelves going all the way up. Got an extra block there. Can we reach? Nope. Let's get rid of that. So we're going to need a lot of bookshelves, which I've started crafting up here. That's all the leather I had. So I might need to go see if I can get some more. Get some cows bred up because it is a little bit slow what I've got for the amount I needed. And then I'm going to do some crafted bookshelves as well. Or carved bookshelves. whichever ones the other ones are. And then I'll need even more leather to make a load of books to fill them up. Then it just gives us a variety of the different types of bookshelves. Could do some partly empty if I want. But then we're going to need seating and other things like that to get this all detailed up. So first thing we'll do is going to start the floor. So I've got the floor done and I've started a little bit of work on the bookshelves. Let's just get rid of this first. Please they're in place so we can see properly. So we come over here and we can have a look. The floor design, I've tried to do kind of a flame design, but it's a bit difficult with the space we've got here. And then I've just gone down, I've done a little bit of the fog effect, but I've not gone too deep because well, I've been working on it a lot. I might go down and dig some more at some point, but I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be doing stuff underneath just yet. So I thought that was enough for now. And it fits in quite well at the flooring. And I've been working on the first set of bookshelves here. I'm probably going to mirror this over on this side as well, but not these two. I think I'm going to keep all 4 entrances open. But this is probably going to be the main entrance because that's where we're coming from, the pyramid. I've been working on the flooring up here for the next level because these are the first of the bookshelves, but I want kind of a balcony area up here and more bookshelves because I do want the books to kind of go all the way up. And then I'm going to put some ladders and stuff in up to the top ones. I'm going to add some seating probably in these 2 areas over here, tables and stuff in the middle. But I'm going to need a lot more bookshelves, a lot more leather. As you can see, I'm already using quite a lot. I've got about almost 2 stacks of just books in these chiseled bookshelves, and I've not even filled all of them completely. So it does take a lot of leather to do this, especially to do the whole thing. And that section up there is going to be almost covered in books all the way around. It's not just going to be bookshelves like these, it's going to be all the way around up there. But I'm liking the way this is going so far. I might head up to the gold farm where we've got the bathroom farm and just AFK there for a while so we can get plenty of gold and plenty of leather from bartering, because what I'm getting from my little cow farm up there is not very much. I mean, I could just get a couple of cows and just breed a massive field and kill them all with looting, but I've got a feeling that the bartering farm might be faster than doing that. I'm waiting for the breeding. Plus less laggy. I'm not quite finished around here yet. You're not going to be able to see this section. So this is going to be blocked in with bookshelves as well. I'm actually probably going to do it kind of like this. So it goes in a little bit and then maybe put a couple of bookshelves here as well. Like that. Actually, we might as well do all this. The only problem we've got with these is they're kind of visible from the side, but I'm pretty sure that will be fine. So we're going to need... It's a little bit difficult when you've got these sections where we can't see it. Let's just put some blocks in there. And we can add a couple of the chiseled bookshelves in, and then I'm probably going to use more of these bookshelves than the chiseled ones. And then we just... Oh, I've only got 4 books left on me. So we just need to fill that in. Actually, let's go get some more books out of the chest. I've got quite a bit in here, but it's just definitely not enough for what I'm going to need. That's 2 full stacks I've used now. Oh, in this section I've added the lectern in with a book. There's nothing written in this book, it's just an empty one. But just gives it that extra little bit of detail. It's kind of like a reference section. You know, if you want to find where your books are, they're going to maybe have references to book locations in there. It's a bit more realistic. So if we place these around, I do leave a couple of blank sections just to give it an extra little bit of detail like that. And then I can probably add some seating in here at some point. But that's the idea I've got so far. I just need to get the leather to get this complete. So I'm going to go up to the bartering farm now, and then once we've got tons and tons of leather and tons of books, I think I'm actually low on sugarcane as well, so we'll need that. Then we can get some more of this library built. Okay, so I've been working on this for quite a long time now, actually, quite a few hours, and I have used every bookshelf that I made, plus another 2 stacks that I've made since, and I have completely run out of sugarcane. So I've had to plant just behind the pathway there. I've planted a load of sugarcane just temporarily to try and get a little bit more to fill this up. I even went down to the community farms and harvested a load there as well. But this is as far as we got, and I'm actually thinking it looks quite nice. I would like to have some more bookshelves up in this area when I do get some. I've got plenty of the chiseled ones, but I only have 8 normal bookshelves left. But I've been working on this. We've got each of these 4 sections done up here. They are designed the same, but the chiseled bookshelves are in different areas, so it just gives it a little bit of variation in colour. And then I've added some seating into each of these, and then just some small tables and chairs around the room as well. And then let's get rid of the shulker box, and then the desk in the middle. Now I'm going to need a librarian in here, and I was thinking of actually getting a librarian villager in. I've just put trapdoors on these for now because I did have 2 creeper explosions while I was doing this, which got a bit annoying. So I will need to find a way to seal this up so it doesn't get turned into a zombie villager. But if I can get one of the librarians in here, that would look quite good, I think. So I just played around a little bit with the armor stands to make a computer desk. We've got the book, and then use some of the beehives for filing cabinets and things. And then up here we have the balcony area with the ladders. Now I've not put any seating up here because it didn't really fit, it didn't look right. So this has got our walkway balcony area around and a lot of bookshelves, as you can see. Again, I do want to go higher up, but I'll need to find a way to do that and still be able to build ladders to get up to them, because, well, it needs to look like you can actually get to them, but I'll figure that out later. Now the area up there I've not done anything with yet because I ran out of the bookshelves, so that was going to be a project for later on because I have used way too much time on this now. But I'm really happy with how it looks. The only thing I don't really like is the beacon beams. It makes sense that it's a central point for one of the big buildings, but if I could block the beacon beams from being visible from like here, that would be a lot better. Even though, you know, I did like the idea of having the different colours and the different sections, and from the outside it does look good, having them coming out the top, especially when there'll be more of them. But I'm not quite sure about the middle. Now, my idea was to have a bubble elevator here to go up the top. But once I started adding the ladders in and realised that I wanted the desk in the middle, I didn't know if that would work properly. I mean, I could still do it and just add it on as a single one going up here if I wanted to, but that wouldn't really make sense if it's going to be access to the top. So that's going to be something I need to figure out later, but I might just end up doing the ladders up like we've got this. I might just find an area with ladders, probably on these 2 sides where we've not got the lecterns, and just add some ladders going up. So I added these chains in just to give it a bit more support because I didn't want any beams going from the balcony down. So I thought I'd add the chains in as visible support from this section as well. I thought about putting some in here as well, but then it looked a little bit too much. So I think it's fine with how we've got it, and it works out nice. We've got the lecterns in the middle of the chains as well. But this is all done for now. It's not 100% complete. Like I said, I still want to do that area up there, but that is going to have to wait until I have harvested a lot more sugarcane and probably quite a lot more leather as well, because I've got like a stack and a half left, and that is that. And I've been to the bartering farm a couple of times, so for now it is resource gathering, but I am really happy with how this has turned out so far. This area, I don't really think there is much to do. Maybe some small tweaks, but I'm not gonna spend much more time here now. I think I need to take a break from this little project, but for now, that is all we've got time for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have had quite a lot of fun designing this building. It is very different from what I'm used to building, and it is kind of difficult building this kind of futuristic style with bright colors. It took a while for me to try and figure that out, because I mean, if you look for inspiration on futuristic builds, it's a lot of white and blues and stuff, so you don't really get a lot of colors, so it's a little bit difficult. But I'm really happy with how the whole building turned out. Especially when we go out here and have a look now with all the bookshelves in. It's a little bit difficult to see it when you're flying around. But from the ground especially, it's looking nice that it's got all the bookshelves and the details in. You can actually see it's a library from the outside, at least down in this section for now. This one you will be able to see eventually. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the build style before I carry on working with the rest of this area to try and make it fit in. And leave a like if you like the video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.